Inshiqaq. So, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا السماء انشقت. إذا, when السماء, when the skies, the heavens, انشقت, are split, are ripped apart. وأذنت لربها وحقت, and it will be obedient, listen and obey its Lord. وحقت, and it is duty bound to do so. وإذا الأرض مدت, and when the earth is stretched. وألقت ما فيها وتخلت, and it casts out whatever is in it. وتخلت, and it becomes empty. وأذنت لربها وحقت, and it listens and it obeys its Lord. وحقت, and it is duty bound to do so. يا أيها الإنسان, O human beings, إنك, verily you, كادح, you are toiling, إلى ربك, to your Lord, كدحا, with a toil, with weariness. فَمُلَاقِيهِ, then you will meet him, Allah. We ended there. We didn't do too much. Now, so we ended there. I mentioned in the last word there that إِنَّكَ كَادِحٌ, verily you are toiling, you are struggling. إِلَى رَبِّكَ, meaning actually to your death. And to your death, then you will meet Allah. فَمُلَاقِي, and then you will mulaqi, then you'll meet. Let's put off this French for like 5 minutes until you get to Ahmad. Okay, it's too much. Can you guys hear me okay? It sounds very loud.
Can you hear me?
Okay, Bismillah. So now we basically enter into a new section. The new section is about what's going to happen in the year after, and in other words, it's a continuation of what's going to happen at the end of the previous verses. At the end of the previous verses, we have the end of the world, and then we have the meeting of Allah. And Allah says, فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَى أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. فَأَمَّا, so the fa is often a continuation of the previous, not always, but often a continuation of the previous section. So what is the fa continuation of?
You will meet Allah.
The meeting of Allah.
Meeting Allah, then there's going to be outcomes. So then there's going to be an outcome. Amma, as for. Amma means as for. Like amma is normally when you have like two different things. Amma hada, this or that. Amma, as for. Man, the one who. Utiya. Utiya means to be given. Utiya means to be given. Utiya. Utiya is what type of verb? It's a majhul verb. Second is inshallah, you have done majhul. You have done a bit of majhul. You done fu'ila and yuf'alu. Fu'ila and yuf'alu. It's a bit difficult. It's a majhul on the third verb. Utiya. But the majhul has what past next to it? What does the majhul have with it normally? If I say like Duriba Rajulun, there's a naibul fa'il. What hal is a naibul fa'il in? What's happening here? فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ. It's a nasb. What's happening there? That's close, yes, but it must be on left to it. But you're on the right track. So what happens is if I make the verb into active, then it will make sense. If I say Allah will give the man the book. Allah will give the man. So where's the verb there? Give. Who's the fa'il of that verb? Allah. And Where's the maf'ul? Allah will give the man the book. Where's the maf'ul?
Kitab.
What about the man? Two maf'uls. Allah will give someone something. Allah will give the man the book. Allah will give the man the book. But now we're saying here, whichever person will be given the book. That whichever person is in utiya. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ هُوَ. Whoever is given him, that person is given what? Kitabahu. So a bit like a technicality, but kitab is second one. And the na'ibul fa'il is inside utiya. The huwa inside referring to man. So you're right there. The huwa inside referring to man. You're a bit confused, okay? فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ. So whoever is given, he is given kitabahu, his book, biyaminihi, by or with or in, basically. The bi actually means by the meaning of he. In yaminihi, in his right hand. So what's the difference between right and left? Right in Islam is considered to be a symbol for good things. Right symbolizes something good, and left symbolizes something bad. So yamin, yes, it's just two hands, but right has a definite positive symbolic value. So in this verse, does the man take the book or is the man given the book? Does he have a choice? You can't take it other hand and say, okay. They have a choice. The man is compelled. The man is compelled by the majhul verb. Not whoever takes the book with the right hand. Because taking would have a more like this volition. There's the will of the doer. You can take your book. But here is not to take the book, it is to be given the book. So whoever is given his book, biyaminihi, in his right hand. In his right hand here is going to be an indication of basically of success, of glad tidings. And when they say kitab, what's in the kitab? So it's kitabul a'mal. It's his book of deeds. His book of deeds. Fasawfa. Fa, then, sawfa. Sawfa generally in Arabic actually means something which is distant in the future. Generally means something which is distant in the future. But sawfa can also use in a sense of certainty, like emphasis. In some occasions, it's not intended to mean like then sometime in the future, in the long term. Doesn't mean that here. It means like certainly. So in some cases, sawfa can be used for and like definitely emphasis as well. It doesn't mean that the man will be given the book and you have to wait like a long time. How long will you have to wait? How long is Qiyamah? Okay, how long does it feel? For example, says for people in paradise will be like a salah maktuba. Will be like one fard salah. Al Qiyamah, 20 minutes. For the believers, is that Allah is Sari'ul Hisab. Allah is swift in reckoning. And for the believers, the reckoning is what? Yasir. And part of the rahmah Allah has is that the believers who are entering paradise on the day of Qiyamah, their Qiyamah will be short. Because Qiyamah is actually a time of terror, a time of uncertainty. And if Allah loves, part of His rahmah is what? To speed up the difficult part. To speed up the difficult part. So imagine your Qiyamah is so short. Like one salah and you're at the doors of paradise. Allahumma ameen. Allah make us of them. Fasawfa. So the sawfa there means certain. In certainly, definitely. Yuhasabu. Yuhasabu. It's also majhul verb there. Third verb. Yuhasabu means there will be taken into account. Then certainly will be taken into account, and again, you have a naibul fa'il, which is the huwa inside. This person will be taken into account will be given a reckoning. What type of reckoning? Hisaban, a reckoning. Yasira, which is an easy or a light reckoning. What does the easy or light reckoning mean? What does it mean? If you think of Qiyamah as like a trial, and you have your book of evidence with you, and you appear before Allah Ta'ala for your reckoning, what does a light reckoning mean? Sure, is it comprehensive? Or take only skeletons? No. After the Rahmah Allah Ta'ala, He will just ask you 1 or 2 questions, and then dismiss. There won't be a detailed thing, because you remember, one of the quality of Qiyamah is actually like a public event. It's a public event. And one of the punishments of Qiyamah is actually khizyun. Khizyun means humiliation. Because your entire life is going to be manifest. But part of the hisab and yasir, the rahmah of that, is that Allah that conceals your sins and your flaws. And asks you 1 or 2 things, okay, bismillah, this person can go to paradise. Whereas some people Allah will take to detailed account. And there will be more witnesses brought. Their limbs will be brought. The earth will be brought. Angels will be brought. There will be lots of evidence brought. And there will be like a full trial for some people. And for some people it will be a light reckoning. I'll make us of those people, inshallah, they have a light reckoning. Or they have no reckoning. Allahu Akbar. وَيَنْقَلِبُ Inqalaba yanqalibu means what? To return from somewhere where you've come from before. This person was with their family in this dunya. They are then resurrected. They are then given the book in the right hand. They will then have an easy light reckoning. And what happens then? وَيَنْقَلِبُ And then this person returns ila to ahlihi, to his or her family, masrura. You know, sometimes you come home to your family, they give you good news, got a new job, or I sent to university, passed your test. This is going to be the best news you can give your family. The best news you can give your family is that I've been given entrance into paradise. And this is the only thing really we have to prepare ourselves for. Even if you fail in this world, with everything you fail in this world, if you are granted entry to paradise, you have everything. You have everything. So one of the qualities of the Ahlul Quran is that they don't judge people by this dunya. That's the quality of dunya people. Dunya people judge people by dunya. Wealthy man, prominent man, rich person, powerful person. Those are all elements of this dunya. And it's part of people's delusion that people think they're important. And it's the people's delusion who judge them to be important also. It's like this weird thing, because some people are not even themselves rich. Or not even like it's so like it's actually very sad, because it's like it's in a weird way, the person who has the dunya at least can enjoy it for a bit. But the person who doesn't have the dunya and wants it doesn't get the enjoyment. They don't get the enjoyment of it. But they still, you know what I mean? But they're still attached to it. So you attach something you can't have. Which is like the greatest loss, because you lose twice. You lose once in this world because you chase the dunya the whole time and you got nothing. And you come to the akhirah and you got nothing again. It's like the worst of both worlds. At least a person dunya had 30, 40 years to enjoy himself or herself. And then I'm not saying sufficient, because it's still eternity waiting. But now we live it concerns me, like the times we live in. I think that's all of us. Dr. Bismillah.
Could you, if you were to make a dua to this effect of ayah 9, could you say وَأَقْلِبُوا إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا?
Okay, dua again, Dr. May just say Allahumma
نَقْلِبُ.
I think rather use farji'ni, it's easier. Return me. The yanqalibu is difficult because the yanqalibu has a majhul meaning. So it's difficult to translate it into a causation because there has a majhul meaning. So you can say Allahumma rji'ni ila ahli masrura. Oh Allah, return me to my family masrura. So this is the greatest gift you can give yourself, your children, your families, that they return with the news of paradise. And especially if you're like a parent or you're a teacher, you are preparing people that you interact with, you are preparing them for paradise. Everything else is secondary. And the believers must never lose this, because the world is becoming like intensely worldly. Like the world is becoming intensely worldly. Like a next level worldly. Like I always think about, like, if you're in some village, how worldly can you really be? You'd be like, yo, you track the wheels. Like how much can you like really, like in a village, only like limited amount. But we have like the most unnatural thing, because we have access to every person in the world. Which must be spiritually the most unhealthy thing you can imagine. Because everything is before your nafs. Every single thing that you could imagine is available to you. Whether a person, whether material wealth, whether a lifestyle, whether it's like all constantly available. And that's going to cause like untold problems with how to make this. And really the only way out is the book of Allah. There's like no other way, because this is all the book comes and says all that stuff that the world is busy with, all that stuff means nothing. It's not even the wing of a mosquito. It means nothing. Stuff that people invest their life, their time, their energy, their self-importance. It's totally liberating. So this is one of the most important messages of the Quran, is not to be materialistic, not to be dunyawi in your manner, in your way, at all. At all. Well, make us like that. وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَىٰ أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. Oh, masrura means to be someone who is happy, and or someone who is like overjoyed. Masrura. Masrura will be, for those of you who do Zakaria soon, is hal. We'll do it next few lessons, inshallah. Zakaria is doing all the nas things. Maf'ulun bi last week, but eventually you come, there's about 10 or 11 nas things. One of those nas things is called hal. Not hal, nas just, it's called hal. It means how the person will return. How the person will return, normally is often ismu fa'il, ismu maf'ul. The person will return masrura, in a state of surur, in a state of happiness, elation. وَأَمَّا and amma, as for man, the one who utiya, he or she is given kitabahu, his book, wara'a dhahrihi. Wara means what? Behind dhahrihi, behind his back. In the previous surah, we did say, the previous surah, we did the previous verse, the previous surah, up behind his back. Not the previous surah, the other surah. It mentions his left hand. What do you think of this? Remember the surah, someone there? I can't recall the surah. It's you all know it. But anyway, the other verses that say the one person is given the book in the right hand, the other person is given the book in the left hand. Just check out how, maybe, I'm not sure. Surah Al-Waqiyah. Surah Al-Waqiyah is the companions of the right and the left. You'll find the surah, inshallah. It's somewhere in your mind. You'll find it, inshallah. In the other surah, it mentions that someone will some people will give you the book in the right hand, and some people will give the book in the left hand. In this surah, it mentions some people will be given the book in the right hand, and some will be given the book behind their backs. If you make the jump between the two surahs, it means that they will be given their books in their left hand, behind their backs. But now, why mention behind someone's back? It's a part of Allah's expression of anger, of disappointment, that the giver is not even facing the person. The giver is not even facing not even facing the person, because to face someone, give someone is still a sense of honor. To face someone and give someone something is a sense of honor. Allah is so displeased with this person, they don't even get it in front of them. They get it just from behind them. They don't even face the person who is giving it to them. And they take it in their left hand. And this is the book of deeds. فَسَوْفَ, then again, the sawfa here is for emphasis. Then certainly, يَدْعُو ثُبُورًا. يَدْعُو, this person will call out, يَدْعُو ثُبُورًا. What does ثُبُورًا mean? ثُبُورًا means halak. Halak means destruction. This person will call out for destruction. Meaning what? This person will receive their book behind their back in their left hand. They will realize that they are going to be punished. And they are going to say what? Oh Allah, please destroy me. Why? Because destruction is a rahmah when you're facing punishment. Destruction is easier than to face punishment. And they will call out subura. Quickly. So when they say, when you call out Thubura, you can actually say, yeah, you can call out Ya Thuburi. Ya Thuburi means, oh, let my destruction come, or Ya Thubura. You can actually call out Ya Thubura for destruction. It's almost like saying like Ya Waili or Ya Wailatana. It's like to say a similar meaning in terms of tafsir. الحاقة يا فوت حاقة بشار سيبني. فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فيقول ها اقرءوا كتابي إني ظننت أني ملاق حسابي فهو في عيشة راضية. وأما من أوتي كتابه بشماله فسوف فيقول يا ليتني لم أوت كتابي ولم أدري ما حسابي. So in that Surah, it mentions the right and the left. In the Surah, it mentions the right hand behind the back. Barakallah. Now, وَيَصْلَى سَعِيرًا. يَصْلَى سَعِيرًا. Yasla means what? Yasla actually means when you feel the heat of something. When you start experiencing the heat of something. So some of the translators will say Yasla means to enter, because when you enter you feel something. Or some translators will say Yasla means to burn. To enter, so if you combine it, it means to enter and to burn. Sa'ira, in the Sa'ir. What is Sa'ir? The Sa'ir is going to be the blaze of Jahannam. Allah protect us, Ya Rabbi. You know, when you read these verses, these are very vivid verses. As if you're reading them, you can like picture them. And they should be there to move us. That this is the haqqa, the inevitable that's going to occur. The waqiyah that's going to waqa means to occur. وَيَصْلَى سَعِيرًا. إِنَّهُ, verily he, this person who has been given the book behind his back, who has called out for Thubura, who has entered into the hellfire, into the blaze, Sa'ira, the blaze. Innahu, verily he was in amongst ahlihi, he was amongst his family. In what hal was he? Masrura. Masrura. But can you see the difference in the masrur? The one masrur is after the person has been given their hisab. The second person, where was his masrur? Understood? Yeah. And his masrur was for dunyawi reasons. That's the problem to be happy with your family, but it's a problem to locate your happiness in this dunya. Yes, you can be happy for small things, but that's not the big thing. The real true joy of a Muslim is the when the person is saved. The real true joy of having a child is to see that child's iman grow. Not the maths mark. Yes, okay, good maths, English, all those stuff, not anti those things. You all grow those things. But things must be in context. To see your child displaying elements of iman, that was the greatest joy for a parent. And our children have aqidah that we don't have. They have like certainty we don't have. Like a child has like natural aqidah. Like sometimes my daughters tell me stuff and I'm like, oh, we like study in aqidah, in ilmu kalam, the stuff you're speaking about now. They have like really like strong, if you nurture a child's faith, it comes actually easily. But you can also corrupt a child's faith by immersing them in this dunya, by placing value in this dunya, too much value in this dunya. And yeah, just nurture your child's faith in inshallah. It's the most important thing that you can equip them with. Innahu, verily he, this person, dhanna means many things here. But dhanna can mean to guess, dhanna can mean to be sure of something, dhanna can mean to have probable knowledge. But here the dhanna means that he had certainty. He really thought. And that lan, not, will never, yahur. What does yahur mean? Yahur linguistically means to go back to the place that you come from. See, I say يقال حار يحور إذا رجع إلى المكان الذي كان فيه. If you place A and you go to place B, yahur means that you will not go back to place A again. I mean, yahur means you will go back. So yahur means to return. So what is this person, what did he think he's not going to return to? What state was he in and he thought he wouldn't return to that state?
To Allah.
So he means himself, he was in a state and he thought he'll never return to the state. Dhanna an lan yahur, an lan, that he will never yahur, return to that state. Which state is that? He didn't believe he will return back to life. He was in a state of life. He thought death will be the final thing, and he won't come back to life again. Makki Surah, what the Makkans do, the Mushrikun of Makkah, they deny the resurrection. As many people today deny resurrection. They deny that lan yahur, you will never come back again to the state of life. Bala is how you answer like a negative statement. Bala is there to remove the nafi of the previous sentence. So he thought he will not return. Remove the nafi, remove the not. Certainly he will return. So bala is there to respond to a negative sentence. It removes the nafi of the previous sentence. You with me? Like you say, Alaysa Allahu. What is Surah Yasin? Alaysa Allahu qadun ala. Alaysa dhalika. Sorry. Ala ayyuhi al-mawta. He was like, is not that Allah able to give life to the dead? You add a bala to a negative sentence because you take out the not. Definitely Allah is able to give life to the dead. So bala is it because you can't say yes or no. Like if I say, are you not going to do your homework? Now if you say yes, like yes I am, or yes I'm not. It's confusing. So use bala for a negative state to take out the nafi of the previous state, the negation of the previous state. Innahu dhanna an la yahur, he thought, you are sure that he's not going to return. Bala, remove the not, he is certainly he is going to return. Certainly. Inna rabbahu, verily his Lord, his master, kana, he was and always will be. Bihi, with regard to him, his master is basira. Basira meaning what? Meaning foreseeing. Meaning the fact that Allah Ta'ala is always knowledgeable about what he is doing, and Allah is knowledgeable about where his future is going to be. Like that verse, Wallahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamu. Allah knows and you do not know. And in that section, if you look at that section there, it فأما من أوتي كتابه بيمينه فسوف يحاسب حسابا يسيرا وينقلب إلى أهله مسرورا وأما من أوتي كتابه وراء ظهره فسوف يدعو ثبورا ويصلى سعيرا إنه كان في أهله مسرورا إن ظن أن لن يحور بلى إن ربه كان به بصيرا. That ends a section. In the next section, what else did it end? Put the password. 10 o'clock. I want to think about this, inshallah. فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِالشَّفَقِ وَاللَّيْلِ وَمَا وَسَقَ وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا اتَّسَقَ لَتَرْكَبُنَّ طَبَقًا عَنْ طَبَقٍ. Your homework, inshallah, is until the end of the surah, is to translate it, but also think about the why. You know, like when Allah says, like وَالضُّحَى, that's why. أُقْسِمُ بِالشَّفَقِ. Why does Allah say بِالشَّفَقِ? By the redness of the sun after it sets. Why does Allah say the night when it's gathering? Why does Allah say the moon when it becomes full? So you think about those things. You think about states, you think about light, you think about darkness. You think about the symbols of each of those things. But those things are symbolic. And then you try to link that to the message of the surah. Because otherwise you usually be translation phase without applying your mind as to the why. So in the next few verses, inshallah, apply your mind towards that. And then also, there's lots of different meanings for that. Apply your mind towards that, inshallah. And any questions or comments before we close? May Allah bless and protect. May Allah make us from those who receive our books in the right hands. Allah, I mean, please do spend time to memorize the surah, inshallah. If you have memorized, memorize. If you have memorized this surah, you don't generally read in salah. Why? Because there's sajda. So you have to read the surah in salah, there's sajda. But read the surah, inshallah. You read in salah also. Or read it maybe halfway. Stop halfway and carry on or something afterwards. But make it one of those surahs that you revise, inshallah ta'ala. We have also entered, just finally, we have entered the month of Rajab. We are less than 2 months from Ramadan. Inshallah, your journey of Ramadan starts already. So prepare yourself now, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. The quality of your Ramadan will depend on how well you prepare for it. So prepare now, inshallah ta'ala, especially with your Quran. May Allah bless and protect. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
السلام ورحمة الله
Zakaria will continue.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I'll see you